group practice owner and therapist. I'm super excited because I am here with Miss Shaunesse Bell, one of our therapists. She literally helps people to build confidence. She works with a lot of our clients who have ADHD or who are in life transitions and looking to make some big decisions and things like that. Shaunesse, I'm excited that you're here. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about self-confidence, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, so when it comes to self-confidence, I think it's important for you to make notes of your inner critic. And what that means is like that negative voice, that thinking that's in your head all the time, The second step, I guess, would be like being aware of the things that you're telling yourself, being more kind to yourself is what we should do in order to build that self-confidence.
Yes, that is so true. Like inner critics will take you down.
Yeah, they sure will.
Because some of us have that inner critic that says, girl, you got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, then you can't do it. So it's so many different ways in which we can self-sabotage. And being aware of what that looks like for you individually is so important. So yeah, awesome. What else do you have for us?
So I would also say that it's also recognizing your strengths. If it's cooking, then hone in on your cooking skills. If it is styling and being a fashionista, hone in on that, style everyone around you. Whatever it is that's going to take you to that next level and sitting within that confidence.
Absolutely. And we talked about this before, so many times when people talk about it, on social media and so forth, we'll hear them using the words of, hey, I'm not able to do this or not able to do that. And honestly, it really just comes down to practice, right? And just getting better at what it is that you actually do.
Yep, for sure. So the last tip that I do have would be you being kind to yourself. I think so often that we wake up every day and we go to work and we're kind to those around us, kind to our children, family members, whoever, but we are not taking that same practice and putting it within ourselves. That inner critic, like I said before, kind of shut that down, reframe that thinking like, girl, it's okay to not be perfect today, and just move on with your day.
Yeah, I love that. So giving yourself some grace.
Big
I
time.
think one of the things that they talk about, and I used to hear when I was in my 30s, is that when you get in your 40s, you give yourself way more grace. And I can definitely say the older that I've gotten, it'll be like, yeah, I messed it up. Okay, next. Like it's not gonna always go well, and I think I would love to see like more younger people just giving yourself grace. You're gonna go back out, you're gonna work to knock it out the best you can the next time. But if it doesn't happen for you the first couple of times, it's okay.
Try again. It's okay.
Yes, yeah. And being kind to yourself and giving yourself grace is something that is really good to do, even while you strive for better.
Absolutely. That self-love, it definitely plays a huge piece into confidence. If you cannot accept and have that radical acceptance of who you are and even the mistakes that you choose to make or, happen on a day-to-day basis, you can't accept those things. It's going to be hard to have self-love and also develop the confidence that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. What's another great tip you have for us?
Outside of that, I would say that it would be important for you to continue to build relationships with people and maintain those boundaries. It is often overlooked when it comes to that, but it's the self-confidence, the people pouring into you, your tribe, it's important. So having those healthy relationships will definitely help.
I love that. And what really dawned on me when you said it's really often overlooked when it comes to like boundaries, it made me think of when we have clients who've gone through or have had toxic relationships or narcissistic relationships, because those boundaries are often, surpassed when they're involved with that type of individual, their confidence to an ability to say no or gauge when something is right or wrong is often compromised. So building strong boundaries is like so important to getting back to like a good sense of self,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
to speak on that a little bit, you get to a point in those relationships, you get to a point where you start to second guess the things that you're doing. And, it plays into the way that you feel about yourself, because here you are giving yourself, okay, well, I choose this person and it's not really working out. So now you're questioning who you are as a person. So yeah, it all plays in.
I love it. These were such amazing tips. And for any of you guys who've ever heard like the term imposter syndrome, a lot of everything that you're talking about really plays into overcoming that, right? Because in order to get to a space where you feel confident in any room, like whether it's the boardroom or your kitchen or your bedroom, like saying, no, we're not going to move forward until you do X, Y, Z. It comes with feeling more confident in who you are, because a lot of times women don't feel that sense of confidence, like they feel like or have been trained by our mothers, which is so interesting, right? To acquiesce, to go along and get along, to not have our voice. And so learning how to have your voice and being around other people who have a voice helps you to stand in your own power. And that's just like so important. So Shawnee, what's your, and I call her Shawnee because her friends do, and I caught wind of it one day and I was like, oh, I like that. And so from now on, it's like, oh, this is Shawnee. Yes. So tell us, please, what's your final tip for us? What's the final words you would like to leave us with?
I would like to leave everyone with the fact that, like I said, with self-care, it is a piece that is very important, but also it drives into self-confidence itself. So when you think of self-care, whether or not you have like a routine, I think it's important for you to have two at the same time, right? So it'll be like buying a car that may have like engine malfunctioning, and instead of going to make sure that the car is serviced for the engine, you're getting a new paint job. And you're just slapping it on and driving around thinking it's going to drive differently, and it's still driving the same. So
Oh,
I want you guys
wow.
to think about that when it comes to like self-care and self-confidence. It goes hand in hand.
I love that. And so I'm going to leave with a tip too. And I'm going to just say that confidence looks different on each person.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, Shawnee, for example, is very soft spoken, but she is absolutely amazing and truly confident in everything that she does. And I could be a loudmouth, right? And the reason why I say that is a lot of times when we're struggling with confidence, we'll look at someone else that's the opposite of us and be like, oh, I need to present like that in order to be such and such. And we all have different gifts and talents, and it comes packaged very differently. And if you notice different people out doing big things in the world, their persona of who they are is very different, right? Than what you're like, oh, like I think about Rihanna. And Rihanna is like, very calm, cool, and collective billionaire. I think of Oprah and Gail, two different personalities, but both killing their game over time. Same thing like with Beyonce. If you've ever seen an interview, you'll see she's super soft spoken, but a powerhouse, right? So it could look very differently. I think the biggest thing is just being comfortable with who you are and being okay that this is how you present and it's all good.
Absolutely. I would definitely agree.
Yay! Well, it was so exciting to talk to you. It always is. If you want to work with Miss Shaunesse Bell, aka Shawnee, then please reach out to us at visionworkscoaching.com. We are here to help you live your very best life. All
Mhm.
right, guys, talk with you soon. Bye.